Hello guys, welcome back to I Can Do This. Today we're going to do a deck profile of the top 8 of WCQ for using Radiant Typhoon, and today we have Jason here. I think should be the only one in top 8 using Radiant Typhoon.
Hello.
And actually, yeah, so actually in top 16 I believe there are 3 Radiant Typhoon, right, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. So, I think the first question for sure, why do you choose Radiant Typhoon? Compare there's like Yugioh branded, there's VSK9, and even Luna like.
Okay.
So, why do you choose Radiant Typhoon for this WCQ?
First of all, I'm choosing this deck mainly because one is I want to try out whether how far can this deck go in a tournament, even against all those meta. Throughout the training time with all the members and all that, I actually fare quite well against all the meta. So I was thinking to use this deck instead because I wasn't getting any top card like the seed and all that. So in order to play from bottom, I believe there are more people playing all the weird decks instead of all these. So I would actually try to play a Radiant Typhoon to win against them.
So can I say that you are expecting Malaysia player actually have more of different kind of deck instead of everyone focus on meta?
Yes.
That's why you choose something that have balance between it.
Mainly because I doesn't want to lose to some any of the stun deck because I'm aware that actually Malaysian they like to play stun deck quite often. So if you choose a deck that actually can play against all the back row cards and all that, you actually fare quite well against them in meta. But unfortunately, my matchup was mostly Dracotail, then Malice. But I do meet with like Branded and Salaman Great as well.
I see. You mean pure branded, is it?
Yes, I actually met with one pure Branded, 2 Malice, 3 Dracotail, 1 Salaman Great, and 1 Riser Misu Dododo.
I see. So do you think you have a hard time to play against branded Dracotail?
Okay, first of all, I'm sure a lot of players are having an understanding where Branded Dracotail has a very good matchup against this deck. Mainly because when they go first, they will have 3 different traps that actually negate spell, then banish the graveyard. Actually, these 2 cards impose a very high winning condition against this Radiant Typhoon because first, you can negate any of the spell that I activate. So when I'm like lacking of starters, you actually throw this against my search, I might actually stop. So other than that, your concern will be to banish my MST in the graveyard, so I wouldn't be able to activate the I wouldn't be able to special summon all my monsters, like because when you have MST in the graveyard, you actually can special summon them. But if you don't have, then you can't do that. So against Dracotail, my 3 matches, I actually won 2 out of 3. So the match that I actually lost is my opponent getting Maxi, Urara, and 1 Ghost Spell. So I wasn't too worried against this Dracotail because how you should play against this is you MST on the card that actually banish your graveyard. You MST the trap that actually banish 2 cards from your graveyard, which is this Sting. Then they will definitely activate the trap card that negates. Yes, this is the flame to negate you, correct? So at this point of time, for Radiant Typhoon, you actually have TFTV. You have TFTV, you have another MST or whatsoever that actually can destroy the first MST that you actually use. So at this point of time, you can make your opponent use 2 of this card and they gain nothing, they cannot return anything, and you actually get past this situation already.
Understood. Okay. So I think, yeah, actually, to be honest, Radiant Typhoon, based on what I remember, other than it's a meta, is a very good board breaking deck. So
Yes.
when I say board breaking, it's not including MST and TFTV, but other than those like very hard board breaking card, like you have Super Poly, you have Droplet, and you even have Sheena. But
Yeah.
there's one thing that's not in here, is the Forbidden Crown. So I was wondering how come you didn't include Forbidden Crown?
Okay. For me, I usually will have this crown in my deck, but why do I choose to not do this in when I go for this WCQ AE? Is mainly because Forbidden Crown is playing best when you are against like VSK9 when you are going first. Mostly when you go first, this is like a win more card for me. It's true that you can just crown one single card and your opponent just stop straight away, but the issue with this is if your opponent has other cards that actually can play through and do another new combo or whatsoever, you might actually lose after you activate this if you don't have any other cards. So
Okay.
I myself, I prefer to use Super Poly and also the Droplet, so I can actually get past when I actually go second. Crown when you go second is quite bad to me, because if you crown also, it doesn't make any difference if your opponent has a full field, hand trap and all that. Actually doesn't help you. But you come to think about it, if I have a Super Poly or a Droplet, I might actually can get past a lot of different scenarios.
Okay, I see. But have you ever considered like maybe playing 2 TFTV with 1 crown to replace the third one?
No, because for TFTV, it's very crucial at 3 because first of all, your opponent can chain anti-spell fragrance.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Yeah, anti-spell fragrance is at 3 in our AE meta. That's why the consideration for cutting on this TFTV is impossible for me.
Understood. So I think the deck is very good at board bringing, since there are so many of this card, and that's also come with a cost that with lower hand trap number.
Yeah.
But I see a issue in the top 8 is actually this deck, it seems quite break from what I observed. I'm not sure on that day are you have the same issue, but in top 8 it seems like there are situations that you can't really extend.
Okay, let me explain a bit on the top 8 match that I actually play against. First of all, the situation where you're talking about the deck has a backhand situation, it happens mostly because your opponent go first. Because in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, there are quite a lot of decks that actually have more than like 14 to 18 hand traps in deck. But as you can see from this deck, the hand trap count is actually at like 7 in the main deck that I actually play. So in this situation, when you are going second, the disadvantage is very very high because you have only 7 hand traps. Also, the deck, as you can see, there are a lot of cards at 3. So likely you will open like multiple of the same cards. So in situations like if I go second and I have multiple cards actually duplicate, we consider that one as a break. But come to think of it, that's the fun about this deck because when you go first, even you have all the dupes also, it won't really hurt you that much. If I actually go first during my top 8 match, I think I will actually win also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So is there any something from the deck or extra deck or side deck that you want to highlight about?
Definitely I would say Happy Featherstorm is the best card.
Why no man deck?
If you happen to open this card, most of the time your opponent will just sigh. just say, you win now.
Actually, I wonder if
Yes.
player play against Radiant Typhoon
Mm.
do you eat any red reboot
To be frank, if I open this Happy Feather Storm, most of the time my opponent just doesn't have this red reboot. I don't know why. Maybe because Happy Feather at 3, then red reboot at 2. Plus, usually when I draw into this Happy Feather is after I do perform all the searches, then the last card I activate is the draw 2 and discard 1. So at that point of time, my deck will be like actually like 50% already take out from the deck already. So from there, I draw will be hand trap or actually this trap.
Yeah, understood. Because
Yeah.
I was wondering, because normally you set a lot of like MST, TF, PV, and mostly including this trap which already open. So I was wondering, is it sometimes players don't even aware of this and they don't really sight for red reboot?
It might actually happen for some players to not think about this Happy Feather, but since I'm quite like playing this deck for quite some time already. I think over the past month, for whoever versus against me in ranking or whatever event related to the AE, I'm sure they are aware of me playing this deck and how good it can actually break bots and how good actually Happy Feather Storm can play against all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about Purulia? So Purulia is very good for WSK9.
Yeah.
And maybe Mirror, I guess.
Definitely yes. But I would say, I cite all these cards. The number that I cite actually, you see, as you can see, I put a Lava Golem because I give respect to the representative seat where they have taken the seat by using Luna Light. So I'm sure I might somehow meet them. So I just put 2 in case I really can't solve with the issue where they have 2 of the big boss with a number 41. So this is my answer to the deck. And for the Lancia, I'm giving my full respect for Maris because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of love against this deck. So definitely I'm seeing more of them. As you can see, as I play 6 rounds of Swiss and 2 rounds of top card because from top 16. So out of 8, I actually met 2 Maris and quite many of them actually at the side of me when I'm playing Swiss at top table. I see quite many of the Maris players actually was sitting around me only. So I'm giving enough respect to them by playing these 2 Artifact Lancia. And for this Purulia, mainly is for me to play against WSK9 and Mirror. But to be honest, my deck can play actually quite well against this WSK9. So I'm not very concerned of the problem against a WSK9. I wish I actually meet a WSK9, but I don't meet any. So if I meet, I'll make sure they know what is Radiant Typhoon.
If you can cover WSK9 already, but yet you still prepare the site like for
No, this
WSK9.
Purulia mainly is for me to play against Mirror match in case. And also, Purulia is a very good hand trap against Malice at this point of time. If you are aware of a new Malice combo, a Purulia can actually get you quite many of cards from them doing the combo.
You are seeing the Malice that including Radiant Engine, is it? Radiant Typhoon Engine?
Not only that, if you are aware, they are also using their Ignister where they have to special summon from hand. Then search another Ignister that special summon the
from graveyard.
Yes. So
actually quite simple.
Yes. So for Malice to actually get top card into the scene, I think most of them will be playing quite well where they know all these combos. So I'm playing these 2 Purulia and 2 Lancia so I can actually get some cards. So in my top 16 match against our fellow good friend Hua Kian, I think he lost in game 2 because I have 2 Gurulia. I chain 1 in standby phase. Then when he chained the Ignister, I chain 1 more, so I draw 2. So from there, I think he actually lose the whole momentum from there.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yes, then the side deck Draw and Lockbird lor. Draw and
Yeah, I
Lockbird.
think this is usual.
Yeah, Draw and Lockbird is actually useful against quite many decks lah. VSK9, I'm sure you know lah. If I stop you at some point, even how you do also, your board wouldn't be as big as you think lah.
Yeah.
But to be honest lah, Draw and Lockbird is the card that I cite the least in this whole WCQ AAE because I find it to be more or less like less useful card in the meta. If you are not playing against Riser, Mitsu, actually this card really don't give you that much of an advantage against like Dracotail and all that. Dracotail don't care about your turn.
Yeah. Actually, Dracotail
yes,
not really huge impact for that.
Yeah, which is the main reason why I actually put this Draw and Lockbird in the side instead of main. So most of the time if I play, I will actually put it in the main. But just for this WCQ purpose, I'm aiming like more people will be playing Dracotail. So I try to put the Draw into the side and I try to put 2 Urara because a lot of players always max C me, so I try my luck whether I can Urara them or not.
So do you think there's a lot of max C? I mean, you get a lot of max C during this WCQ?
I get some max C, but I get the max C at a very crucial moment, like my top 8 game 3. But that's just game. So another reason, joke aside, another reason for me to put Urara instead of max Draw and Lockbird is because Urara can actually stop for Ketu and Rahu. So my aim is playing against Dracotail, which is the most player will be choosing this deck.
Okay, I think Ash's Urara is quite standard on that. But yeah, I think it's very insightful for your deck list. That definitely will help the community, help the Yugioh community, help the players to build their deck and more understanding about Radiant Typhoon, especially the concept how we against with other meta. So I think after Blazing Dominion there's a lot of changes. So let's see for the new decks, new gameplay for the decks that after Blazing Dominion.
Definitely,
and
yes.
Hope we can see more deck profile after
this.
If
let's say the viewers have any question on this deck, they can actually just comment below. Just let me know. I'll try to explain as much as possible. But I'm not sure whether you are interested in playing this deck still post Blazing Dominion. But if you are still interested in playing and really want to learn or want to know more about the card that I choose or whatever, you actually can leave a comment so I can just answer you in the YouTube comment section.
So actually, since you bring out about that, I think that's the most important question to answer. So do you think after Blazing Dominion, this deck still can compete as a meta deck?
Definitely yes, but I would say this deck, if you are still going second with these 7 cards, I think 7 hand traps, I think it's kind of hard because first of all, Super Poly doesn't really affect Killer Tune much because we don't have the OCG release fusion monster where 2 tuners, you can use 2 tuners to fusion one. I think it's a shark-like ship.
Yeah, basically it's like a normal fusion monster, don't have any effect.
Yes, but because the requirement is 2 tuners, you actually can clear the board quite well. So for Radiant Typhoon to play against a meta full of Dracotail and also Killer Tune, I think is quite an uphill task. It's not impossible. Let's say if you go first all the time, definitely you can still get past this because Killer Tune and Dracotail, they both share one very common characteristic where both of them have a very high count hand traps.
Okay.
Yeah, so which is a very big burden if you are playing this Radiant Typhoon. Of course, if you have hand traps, definitely whatever deck you play against is the same, right? So you can actually win most of the matches if you really hold a maxi in hand and all that. But if you ask me whether you can use a Radiant Typhoon to win a tournament full of Killer Tune and also Dracotail, Branded Dracotail, I think it's very low chance.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. That's very important for the community. So
Yeah.
I think that's quite some information, and I think that's for today. Thank you again, Jason, and congratulations again for the top 8 on WCQ. So
Thank you.
that's all for today. I can't
Bye
do this.
bye.
Bye.